Our minds are like rivers. When they flow smoothly, life feels calm, peaceful, and full of meaning. But when the river overflows, when it is filled with too many rocks and storms, it becomes violent, restless, and heavy. Many people carry too many thoughts, regrets, and fears inside them. And when the mind is too full, there is no space left for peace. This is a story about a young man who learned one of life's deepest lessons, the power of emptying the mind.
In a quiet town, surrounded by rolling hills and gentle streams, lived a 26-year-old man named Elias. From the outside, Elias looked like he had everything. He had a good job, a caring family, and friends who loved him. But inside, Elias was fighting a storm no one else could see. Every day, his mind was crowded with endless thoughts. He remembered mistakes from his past, moments where he had failed, times when people laughed at him, times when he let others down. These memories haunted him. At night, he lay awake worrying about the future. Would he succeed? Would his family be proud? What if he lost everything? His mind never rested. It was like carrying a heavy bag full of stones wherever he went. He smiled in front of others, but deep inside, he felt exhausted.
One evening, Elias sat by the river in his town, watching the water rush past. He whispered to himself, "Why can't my mind flow like this? Why does it feel like a storm inside me all the time?" The weight of his thoughts was crushing him. He wanted peace, but he didn't know where to find it. That's when he heard about a wise teacher who lived far away in the mountains. People said this teacher was once a great scholar in the city, helping thousands of people find clarity and calmness. But after many years, the teacher left the noise of the city and chose to live in silence, surrounded by nature. Visitors who met him often returned with lighter hearts, as if their burdens had been lifted. Elias felt a spark of hope. Maybe, he thought, this teacher can help me.
The next morning, he packed a small bag and began his journey. The road was long and rough. He walked for days, climbing hills, crossing streams, and sleeping under the stars. His feet hurt, his body ached, but his heart carried one wish: to find peace. Finally, after many days, Elias reached a small house at the edge of the forest. The house was simple, covered with green vines and surrounded by tall trees. On the porch sat an old man, his eyes closed, breathing deeply, as if the whole world was at rest inside him. Elias stepped forward and said softly, "Master, my heart is restless. My mind is never quiet. I am trapped by my past and afraid of my future. Can you help me?" The old man slowly opened his eyes. They were calm, steady, and kind. With a gentle smile, he nodded. "Yes, I can help you. But first, you must trust me. Are you willing to do what I ask?" Elias nodded eagerly. "Yes, I will do anything."
The old man stood up and led Elias to the back of the house, where there was a small garden. Flowers swayed in the breeze, and the sound of birds filled the air. From a wooden table, the teacher picked up a large clay cup and filled it to the brim with water. He handed the cup carefully to Elias and said, "Take this cup and walk through the village. Walk all the way to the big tree at the far end and return here. But remember, you must not spill even a single drop of water." Elias looked at the cup in surprise. "That's all?" The old man simply smiled and nodded. So Elias held the cup tightly and began walking. The path was uneven,
and people were busy with their daily lives. Children were playing, merchants were calling out, dogs barked loudly, and carts rattled by. But Elias kept his eyes fixed only on the cup of water. Step by step, he walked carefully, determined not to spill a single drop.
After a long walk, he reached the big tree, turned around, and walked back slowly. His arms ached from holding the cup so steadily, but he did not let himself get distracted. Finally, he returned to the garden, breathing heavily but smiling with pride. "Master," he said, "I did it. Not a single drop spilled." The old man's eyes shone with kindness. "Good, but tell me, Elias, as you walked through the village, did you see the children playing? Did you hear the dogs barking? Did you notice the merchants shouting?" Elias shook his head, confused. "No, master, I saw nothing. I only looked at the cup." The teacher leaned closer and whispered, "That is the secret. When your mind is full of the past and the future, it spills everywhere. But when your attention is fixed only on the present moment, the noise of the world disappears. Just like you focused on the cup, you can choose to focus your mind on now, not yesterday, not tomorrow." Elias froze. The words entered his heart like light entering a dark room.
For the first time in his life, Elias understood. His suffering did not come from the world outside. It came from his own mind. He was carrying too many thoughts, too many regrets, too many fears. His cup was overflowing. Tears filled his eyes as he whispered, "So all this time, peace was not outside me. It was always inside me, hidden beneath my thoughts." The old man placed a hand on his shoulder. "Exactly. Empty your mind. Do not hold on to yesterday. Do not fear tomorrow. Live only in this moment, and your heart will be light. Life is like that cup of water. If you are careful, steady, and present, nothing will spill." Elias bowed his head. At that moment, the heavy storm inside him began to calm. The voices of doubt grew quieter, and for the first time in many years, he felt free. He looked at the sunset over the mountains, the golden light covering the trees, and he smiled. Not a forced smile, but a real, deep, peaceful smile.
Elias returned to his town a different man. The worries of the past and the fears of the future no longer controlled him. Whenever his thoughts became heavy, he remembered the lesson of the cup. He reminded himself to live in the present, to focus only on what was in front of him, and to let go of the rest. Peace is not found in chasing more things, nor in controlling everything around us. True peace is found when we empty our minds of unnecessary weight and learn to live fully in the present moment. We all carry cups of water in our lives, our dreams, our responsibilities, our families. The world will always be noisy, with distractions, challenges, and fears. But if we keep our focus steady, if we live in the present moment, our cup will stay full and our hearts will stay calm.
If this story touched your heart, give it a like and share it with someone who might need this message today. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories that can guide you toward peace and strength. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep your mind light, live in the present, and let peace guide your steps.